So moved.
So, is there a second?
One second then.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? I'll do a letter up so that we can go to different businesses, because I have run into that, we have some.
Older ones, yeah.
Oh, no. So next thing here, we have council meeting scheduled for January 27th. Are we feeling we need another second meeting this time of year, or want to leave it on the books and then wait and see if we have business?
I believe on books.
Okay, yeah. And then along with that, I need to schedule workshops. One of them I would like to schedule for Monday, the 19th. And this will be in regards to flea market at that time of year. And I guess if we want, we need to do some ordinance reviews. You wanna do it again? Get copies?
Workshop. It might be, they need to all have copies, and what I'd like them to do is read through the copies and start. It's not an overhaul at this point, it's just fine tuning some of the words, cause they're confusing, so cross out what you think it should be, so we can discuss it at the workshop. It'd go a lot faster if you pre-looked at all those, that's including the water and the sewer. I do know that water needs some wording, the verbiage changed. I mean, there's little things in here, like fowl. You're allowed so many fowl per size of your lot. We need to say no roosters. I mean, there's little things like that that needs to be clarified, because there are a couple in town that are bothering people. So,
What about the turkey?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna do about the turkey?
We can't control the turkeys. So, well, then why don't we'll make copies and we can have a second workshop. I think, on this one, on Monday, we have Bellevue. We have a, zoning or, building request up on Bellevue, and we all need to look at that real close. So Monday at 10, it would be for the flea market and for, the Bellevue property.
On the water and sewer, okay.
Okay, and I will text, Sherry to see if she wants to go now. Oh, the next,
So when do you want to schedule the,
the
the coordinates?
Daryl, what's your schedule?
Open.
So this is, of course, we're going into January. So, well, we could do one, what about doing it on the 27th, but do it in the morning?
What day is that?
That's Tuesday, it's already.
Oh, as a council meeting, okay.
That work?
In the morning?
Yeah. Well, it's gonna take some time, so we're gonna need,
So,
What time in the morning?
maybe 10, really?
10?
Mm-hmm,
That's not really, but that's okay.
yeah,
um,
early enough.
I don't think all of you guys have this long one, but I've also got all of the, amendments that have done to it. I'll get copies of all of this with the amendments stapled where they're supposed to be for you. I'll try to get that done this week.
Okay. Then if I can help you do that. Mhm. Hey, next thing on here,
Should be swamped.
I know, is the pumper truck. This is, we talked about this several times. Anybody's in Joseph, isn't he? Yeah. Joseph has this pumper truck in his excess, so they don't use it anymore. And it does run, can go down the road. Yeah, at first they wanted us to buy it, and now they have called and decided they just want to give it to us. And the idea was that it would be usable for a backup pump if we needed to do, we had some freeze up, and we could use this as a backup, so we could go back the second day and take the fluids off if we wanted. They don't know if we want to get involved with this, we've talked about it before, but it used to be, at first they wanted $2,500 for it, now they're wanting to just give it away because of liability reasons. They didn't want some farmer to buy it and then start watering his cows or sheep or whatever when they have a problem.
Do the guys have to take special classes
I
on,
didn't ask him.
on how to handle, pumping sewage?
No, because it's not a hazardous material.
Sewage?
Mm-mm,
No,
mm-mm.
it is after you treat it, but it ain't while it's raw.
Okay.
Do we have to pay insurance on the car?
Well,
It's been right down the highway.
it would have to be just the minimal, you know, for like, I mean, it would be, you know, if it breaks or something damages it, it's done.
The biggest thing is like, what are you gonna do with the shit you pop out of the hole anyway? You can't put it out in the sewer, because you can't put solids up there.
I mean,
So it's one of those things, are we gonna have somebody use this truck and take it to Baker?
Possibility, but the idea is to just take the liquids.
And it's only 1,000-gallon tank,
Right.
so it's basically one sewer pump and you're on the road.
Mhm.
But like I said, the only thing where this would work is if we were to put in tanks of our own, which would have to at least be 2 of them put together to where you could pump out of somebody's tank, pump into there. So that, because our problem is during the winter is what the problem is,
Mhm.
when leach lines quit working for the city. So therefore, everybody's sewer fills up and need to pump them out. And you gotta have a place to put it. So if we had a holding tanks that we could put that into, to where the leach water would leach out back into our system, that's not froze up. That's the only benefit that I see. Otherwise, this is another money pit.
Why is Joseph getting rid of it?
Because they have excess. Mhm.
They're bigger than we are.
And they changed, I think they changed what they're doing for their system. So,
I mean, it's a good thought, but it seems like we collect a lot of giveaway junk.
Well, like I said, what the vehicle is, and that's fine and dandy. Because you could go buy a brand new rig and have it blow up on you. But the biggest question is what would you do with the tank when you pumped it out? Whether we put these tanks in, which we spent a lot of money pumping tanks in the winter, I think last
Here
year.
we get a fortune.
Huh?
Any way to reduce the cost of pumping tanks would be great. I'm just not sure this is it.
So, like I said, because you have the expense of putting in a couple of tanks. Because you gotta put in at least 2 that are connected, so that the water would go out, because you're pumping a tank into it.
Could we take it and then sell it for scrap?
No, because then that,
I get more than that.
uh,
I don't know, maybe I didn't seem to think it was a problem, but like
well, like
I
I
said.
said, then you have the expense
No.
of driving off the hill in the middle of winter, going into the tank.
Mhm.
Because like I said, this thing's probably gonna weigh, with a loaded truck, probably gonna weigh at least 5,000, 6,000 pounds with 1,000 gallons.
Like 1,000 gallons will weigh 8,000 right there. Yeah.
Well, in water,
8.8.
and solids are heavier than that, so.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is a no.
Well, I didn't say no, I'm just saying, that think
I'm
about what you're getting ready to have.
kind of hearing a no. I haven't heard it.
Maybe you guys should digest it. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, guys, so
I think we need to crunch some numbers on that a little bit first.
okay, table. Okay, I'm gonna table it, but
Oh, no.
Do we have room for it to start growing weeds after its engine blows?
well, that's what I talked to Levi about the engine, that's, you know, like I say,
The weeds will grow really good at fertilizer.
Well, you can add it to the workshop on Monday, then they.
okay, there we go. I'm gonna go to the workshop on Monday, and I'll get some more answers. Right. Okay. Let's see. Zoning permit shed 890 Cracker Creek. So, setbacks.
I just didn't see this last page.
Mhm.
Any questions, concerns?
You must have done it, Randy, that last page.
Yeah, I just got that from
Thank you.
Dawn.
No,
Okay. There, entertain a motion to approve the shed at 890 Cracker Creek as it's presented on the diagram.
I'll make a motion to approve the shed on 890 Cracker Creek.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
and Lindy, you will fax this down to.
And next is new address assignment for Bourne Road.
Oh. I'm going. Oh,
Two of them here.
yeah,
Which one do you have there? Bourne
well,
Road.
yeah, well, we have three, I think,
Okay.
three. Yeah, the Bourne Road, the first parcels, 1800, 1801, and 1802. That first one, 1802, does have a Sumter Valley Highway, that's why you say 650 Sumter Valley Highway. But the others have not had addresses to them yet, so Lindy and I've looked over, so 1700, we suggested 580 Bourne Road, and then 1600 would be, 600 Bourne Road, and then lines up with the sixes across the map and the fives across. Even gives us more room for addresses if they decide to, ever split it going the other way or stuff, but we left plenty of leeway between them, but the numbers line up.
Okay. And then what about Nancy?
You gotta do one at a
Oh,
time.
sorry, you were.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So, entertain a motion to assign addresses for Bourne Road, 1700 lot 17 is 580, and lot 1600 is 600 on road. Do you have a motion?
So I make the motion to, assign lot 1600 and lot 1700 to the 600 and 580 Bourne Road.
Have a second?
Also, good.
Okay. All in favor?
Nine.
All opposed? Then.
Which one? Oh, the answer.
And then we have what? 3,000?
Where are you at? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's probably not highlighted on your map, but lot 3000 actually, is L-shaped, so if you look, it's lot 8 and then the 2 sevens down below.
Mhm.
And it's kind of confusing, we go two ways. Half of the town on the corner lots, they're on Granite Street instead of the north-south. The other half, just follow the north-south. But if you look down 275 Granite, the corner lots, they're generally doing it the other way. So you have two choices. You can either, and we're trying to keep it, things got really messed up over the years. This should be the 200, and then the 300, but it doesn't work that way. So we're trying to slowly straighten it out, but you can go on lot 3000 because it is L-shaped and most of the property is on granite. So you can either do it as 300 granite, which kind of follows the 3s, 4s down, or you can do 305 Bonanza. But, if you look all the way over to the right, they've done 339 Clinex, because it's on a corner, they've gone up that way. Not every one of them's fallen that way. 126 Ibex is the same. So, you either give it a Bonanza or you give it a, Granite.
Well, the lot that's in that same block is on a Bonanza.
It's an L-shaped
No
lot.
shape, yeah, but I mean, it's,
Well, yeah, but if you look.
like a granite, I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's either or. I mean, the corner lots generally, And if you look at 246 Granite,
Yeah,
it's actually, on the corner of Granite and Columbia. So, which way do you guys want to keep? I mean, half the town's done correctly that way, the other half's not. It's just,
Which way, can you access a lot from either way?
yes, you can. And,
Sites utilities.
but, so far in this area, they've done it that way. Like if you look across here on 380 Granite, they've made Granite that address because it's a corner lot. So
Anything across the street.
Yeah. 275, yeah. So my suggestion was 300 Granite.
Why doesn't it have that solid rock on there?
It's actually, because this is 8 and this is 7. So if I make this corner lot, if we make this corner lot Granite and they decide to peel off that little section, then it would be.
But how come they have that black line there? 'Cause that tells you that it's two different lines.
Well, it is, but they own it all, so, but they have, it's not too different. It's an 800 and 700, they want an address. So one owner owns it all until they ask for an address for the number 8, which is at the top. That would be a Bonanza address then for sure. So we're assigning the address for lot 7, the 2 7s.
Which is down below.
Which would make it Granite, and then if they
Down the
ever split that off, because the structure is on 7.
See, it's just, this is where it's, this is 7.
Yeah, this is 7,
Yeah.
it's 7 split with that solid line.
Here,
But the structure's on 7, so right now,
Okay. So it's a coupon in the map.
If you're gonna go Granite, though, it's in the 200 block,
No, it's in the 300, because 395, no, granted,
No, we're at 300 blocks on the other side of the news.
let's just make it.
Well-
300.
well, we'll make it 200. Well, no, it's gotta be over that, so it's gotta be, and it has to be odd, so. So you can go 295, that would work. Still gives you plenty of room.
It's just that section.
Well, right now, we're doing 295, trying, if they ever go up on the 3,000 and decide to sell that one, then it definitely would be Bonanza address, but the structure is on Granite.
We have a structure here.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're looking at making it 295.
like Granite,
Well, wait a
It would
second.
be,
Wait a
have to be an
second.
even number if it's on Granite.
even, okay, 296.
No rhyme or reason.
I know, it just, they're all over the place, so I'm trying to get it closer to 96, okay?
Okay, so lot 7, it's on the corner of Granite and Bonanza. Is going to be 296.
We'll specify that one, and
Yeah.
if something happens up on the 8,
Yeah, so I said lot 7.
we'll leave room.
That'd be 296 Granite. Do I have a motion to approve that?
We make the motion to approve 296 Granite.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And then the last one is Cracker Street.
Okay,
We have a lot of property moving around.
this is,
Money.
the real estate, it's,
Oh, this is
I
that one down.
yeah, as you
Okay.
guys are going down the going down the highway before you get the bridge on the left-hand side on the corner of Crackers, the one down in the hole. The gray one with the orange trim, you know where Cracker is in the highway? Okay, the real estate office has it listed as 415 Cracker Street, but it is on the corner. Their driveway is actually off of Sumter Valley Highway. So I look at it as if the EMTs get called, there is absolutely no way, because it goes down a hill. I mean, they'd have to make a side angle to get a driveway in back of their house. I always look at it as if the EMTs get called, they're gonna be hunting for a driveway. They will not know where 415 Cracker Street is, because the driveway comes right off the highway. So do you want it? They need an,
Did we ever verify with county or anything on this?
it is, well, the county
No,
records.
county has nothing.
County has nothing, but the real estate office listed it as 415 Cracker Street, which is confusing because, I mean, it's just the downhill slope.
But where did they, I wonder where they got that.
I don't know, so should, you know, if county has nothing on it, let's make it off the Sumter Valley Highway, because that is where the driveway goes. And it would be tough for them, I mean, they'd have to come at an angle just off a Cracker and then go around, because the house is just kind of butted up. So I always try to look at how the EMTs are gonna find out if they're looking on Cracker and it's down in the hole. So
Yeah,
should we,
we've got a couple of places in town that are like this.
huh?
We have a couple of places in town that are like this to where if Kurt didn't know where you were going, it would be bad.
Well, and nobody's lived there for years, so it's not like it would be, and I haven't,
Give the highway, I guess. you-
okay, well, I'm gonna have to look at that, we'll address that one, because, I just brought it to council to see how you guys wanted to do that.
Okay,
So I gotta look at the Sumter Valley Highway,
we need to look closer at that, so we'll table this one.
yeah,
Okay.
but I just didn't know which way you guys wanted to go.
Okay, moving on, old business, oh, this isn't on here, but Matt wanted to give an update on the cemetery.
Yeah, a couple of different things, actually. So, let's start with the cemetery. I think we should have a workshop or add it as a agenda topic to the ones you've been talking about. I
Okay.
put together a couple of pages of notes, and I gave copies to Lindy, and I'll send in the electronic files, but the first one is, and we talked about this a long time ago, is the pricing schedule. We really need to be going with that. Cause my plan is June, we're up and running,
Okay.
start selling stuff, have
Okay.
everything marked and ready to go. Second thing is I'm creating a Microsoft Office program or application, whatever you want to call it, so that we can manage selling, transferring, and burials. So with that. And then rules and regulations. So I'm the kind of guy that, why reinvent the wheel if somebody else has already invented it? Let's just borrow theirs. So, so there's the rules from the Mount Hope Cemetery down in Baker. They gave me a copy and I went through and kind of made some markings on it and made some notes. And so again, this is something that I think we need to talk about in the workshop. Anything else for a cemetery? I'm gonna be looking out for the next cemetery grant, which should be coming up soon. Last year it was 8,000. I'm assuming it's gonna be 8,000 again. So one question is do we go forward with a fence, or do we look at getting some sort of shed or something to put there to store things? Because,
Okay, yeah.
you know, you may want to store some tools, whatever, you know. Let's see. So that's the cemetery. Regarding the volunteer part, I've kind of put on the back burner of getting the committee together yet, just because of that phone call we had last month with the vendor of the equipment.
Oh, okay.
We're not gonna, since
Yeah.
we're not gonna purchase until probably April.
Mhm.
I just figured, well, I'll wait another month or so. The hometown grant for T-Mobile has been submitted. It's in process. I think they announce winners of the grant end of February, I think, is my memory. If we get that grant, it's a 1-year grant. You have to spend that money within like 11 months of being granted money. So I think we have to take a look at how we spend the money from OPRD and hometown grant if we get it. So we have to be I think we have to be very cognizant of how we spend that money. Let's see. The fire grant from 2023, as you all know, Kurt's aware, and I think John's aware, I did the report 2 months ago, I think.
Yeah.
To kind of give us a,
The wildland one, yeah.
yeah, to just kind of find out where we are on spending and such. One of the items in the budget was $5,000 for education and outreach. And we haven't really done anything. We've got 11 months, I think, to finish up with this. I think it's November we have this. So I was reminded recently by a friend about Firewise. And I think the steps to become Firewise would cover a lot of the stuff that would come under education and outreach. Not only that, once you become Firewise, as I'm told, and I read this, from, I can't remember who the gal worked for. Anyways, what it does is you become Firewise, it takes you as an organization or a town from this level to this level when it comes to getting grants for other things. It's a feather in your cap. It's a box you can tick off that says, we're Firewise, we want to get this grant for cameras or sirens or all kinds of things. So, so I'm bringing that up as a suggestion. I think it's something we should go after. It doesn't seem like it's a very hard process. It's basically form a committee, make a 3-year plan, and then take actions on your plan. It's probably more in depth than that, but again, I just boiled it down to tell you about the major steps for it. Okay, so what else? I know I'm missing something.
The T-Mobile grant, what does that cover?
So that it's $22,000 and it will cover a new water heater at the grounds. And it could cover our in-kind labor costs for volunteer park. But I'm missing something, and I thought it was pretty important.
So you
I should
want,
make notes.
so why don't we add, how, are you all ready as far as for the cemetery, as far as the presentation for a workshop?
Absolutely.
So do we want to add that on to Monday, the 19th? So that we can keep moving on?
I would think it's a half-hour tops.
Okay, yeah, so.
An hour.
Yeah,
Too many yappers in the crowd.
Just you.
I do go on, don't I?
okay, so we'll put that on for Monday. So for
Okay.
you, it'd probably be, I think what we set this for 10. So probably wouldn't be ready until,
This coming Monday, the
Yeah.
19th. Okay.
probably wouldn't be ready until like 11, if you didn't want to sit through everything else.
I'll come from the beginning.
Okay. Okay.
I just remember the other thing, and it's not that huge, but, is Dark Sky. And the Baker County Parks Board, is it the 26th is our next meeting, I think?
27, 26.
Somewhere in there.
Last Monday of the month, yeah.
Yeah. So Dark Sky, I've been talking with them. I actually participated in their Dark Sky Oregon monthly meeting that they do via Zoom last week or so. As far as the park's concerned, not the park, excuse me, the tailings are concerned, they're saying we can go ahead. We should go ahead and try and get it certified. Donnie, who is the Parks Board Director, she and Christina are also on board with that. So at that meeting, I'm gonna give them a summary of what I've talked, because I've been talking to these guys for 2 months. I'll give them a summary of what needs to happen, because there was a question about insurance and things like that. So I think in that meeting, hopefully we come out of that meeting and can say, okay, let's fill out the application, pay our $250 and get them out here and get us certified.
So
So,
that's going through the county.
yes. Because it's pretty dark out there.
Very good.
Isn't the lady from Halfway that's been working on there is gonna be at that meeting also, or she should?
I don't know if she's gonna be there. I know she sent out an email. She kind of, piggybacked on Christina's email that, you know, they've been working on it for a year for Halfway Community Dark Sky. And she'd be happy to help us out. But I also, in the Zoom meeting, there must have been 20 people on this Zoom meeting, but they also had Pam Conley. Have you ever heard of Pam Conley? So she's from Halfway. She's part of the committee or the group that's trying to be Dark Sky there. So.
Okay, so we'll just set you up for on Monday.
10 o'clock.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, last thing on the old business is we have our thermostat out here that goes into the trucks are, but the thermostat's on that side. So we'd like to move it onto this side so we can regulate the heat in here a little better. Because if we turn the heat up, it'll run forever there because it's so cold, it's colder in there and it doesn't need to be 64, you know, we're in here to be nice. And I can't believe it's gonna cost that much for an electrician to help us swap that.
Well, no, because they're just gonna run it through the wall.
Yeah,
They just run it through the wall.
12,000 bucks.
I know, but it'd be nice, cause that run, I mean, cause if we turn the heat on here, I mean, it'll run and run and run and run, so. And then it gets too hot in here. It's pretty inefficient, so I like to.
Well, we've been talking about it for years, so might as well take it down. It's costing us money and fuel.
Do you have a motion to move that?
No, I make a motion to have an electrician come out and move the thermostat to inside the office.
Do you have a second?
No second that.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Council comments, Daryl?
No.
Melissa?
Yes. Just a reminder, if anybody in the city has a broken pipe, to call the city so that we can turn your water off so you can find your leak. You don't have to try to turn it off yourself. We do not charge a turn on fee of the $300 and some for like the snowbirds. Just call the city and we'll come and turn off your water for you till you fix your pipe. And something on the finance report, it always kind of amazes me. Just I thought I'd let the citizens know where our money goes. We had an ethics. I had this.
It's the Oregon Ethics Group.
Yeah, the Oregon Ethics Group. And what was that bill? It was 1,000 something. Those are bills that we have to pay just for being a town or a.
State of Oregon Ethics Assessment, fiscal year 2026, 11/22.
That's what we pay for a year. So, I mean, we get hammered with bills from other entities too. So it's just not like we're wasting money, but we gotta pay to have a lot of stuff done.
Yeah, we had $240 for the Oregon Association of Water Utilities. I mean, it just keeps going on.
That's mine.
Hey, Charlie? I have just one update for you guys is, met again today with Pico and Cody on Zoom in regards to the sewer project. We're having, the issue is where the sprinkler lines are, it's never had a cultural study. So they're requiring a cultural study. Well, then it turns out the lagoons never had a cultural study. So needless to say, our budget is getting blown. So
Isn't that the old Sumter smelter?
it's above it. You don't wanna go there either. We've already dealt with that one. Thank you. So, a letter went to DEQ explaining to them that our budget is way beyond what we're gonna spend. And thank you, but we aren't going to borrow $1 million from you. So we've informed them we are going to break this down to 2 phases. We're gonna take care of the lagoon, and then we'll take care of the sprinkler.
And how do you do a cultural study on a sewage lagoon?
Well, they wanna go around and dig in all the gravel, and then if they find a bottle or a piece of tin, then any work we do there, they have to have their cultural person check every. I know, believe me, it's a bunch of bull. But,
You have to pay them off.
but I've been fighting this for months. And so this is where, like I say, the budget is gotten so out of balance that we are going to just, we're gonna take care of the lagoon, upgrade the pumps and the stuff that really needs to be upgraded. And then we will not be able to get another full, block grant for another 4 years. So the other phase is gonna get pushed out. And I mean, DEQ's not gonna like it, but we had a conversation today with, you know, the engineer stuff, and that's the bottom line. We're not going over our $2.5 million, we're done. We're not taking a loan. So
And more of it's going to studies than it did.
right, I mean, that's, and then, the meters, we upped the meters because we're having a lot of property moves, so we did have, a large contingency in the meter grant. So we are able to get some extra meters, so we'll have plenty as property goes. That one so far is just kind of,
I'm just having a hard time with a cultural study on tailings. It's already been disturbed probably 3 different times. This absolutely makes no sense at all.
Daryl went to DEQ.
Somebody
You know,
said she would probably
we
do.
can't even put our transmission line in because they have a cultural study, and how many times has that road been disturbed?
I know.
It's like you said, it's a racket. But I just wanted to give everybody, we're still working forward to get this done, but
We
it's,
dealt with the same thing at State Park
yeah,
where you can't even put a shovel in the ground
yeah.
unless you do a cultural
Yeah.
study.
And this, you know, I mean, so, like I say, we're dealing with DEQ, we told them what we're gonna do, so we'll see what kind of.
But that's the hard stuff that a lot of cities won't do. They'll just take a grant
Mhm,
or take the loan, charge it to their citizens,
Mhm.
future citizens,
yeah,
and pay that off over time because, you know, it's somebody else's money.
Yeah.
And so that, you know, I mean, that's the work you should be doing.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's why, like I said, they've offered us money, there's organs offer money, but it's such a large amount of money. We can't pass that much money off on people.
Right.
So that's why I've drawn the hard line, so I don't know what they're gonna do.
No.
You know, I'm sure they're gonna come back and wanna finance these stuff, which is stupid. If we're saying we don't have the money to pay for this, why charge us another $2,000 or $3,000? But, so that's where we're at. It's been an interesting process. All I can say. So I have public comment.
I have something on the fire side. So we still have grant money left with the Firewise communities.
You mean the wildland fire?
Yeah, wildland fire.
Yeah.
So someday that burn pile's gonna be a place to spend a little
Yeah.
funds on.
Mhm.
That the wildland grant should, because that's all fuels reduction, people bringing stuff there.
Okay.
Mhm.
So something to think about. We've
Okay.
talked about fencing it, we've talked about hauling it off, this and that. Just a thought that some money could go there. The
Yeah.
Firewise communities, there's several around, Halfway's got them, Baker's got them. They work pretty good in neighborhoods that are full of residents.
Mhm.
Our neighborhood here has, 5 houses and 5 vacant, unattended. Who even knows who owns that lot?
Mhm.
So if these 5 are doing their part, but then the other 5 aren't, the neighborhood or community doesn't work all that well. We should sure give it a try since there's some funds there.
Well, yeah, we need to look at, and we.
But yeah, something to look at, as fire defense board stuff, we've talked about them forever. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. The 3-year side is about all the participant, you get them started. And then the participants quit. And then 6 years down the road is just like the day they started.
Right.
Everything's growing back up and.
Yeah, it definitely takes commitment.
Yes, it takes commitment and it takes. So if it was in Baker City in big neighborhoods, say, I don't know the neighborhoods, but up around where the B is on the hill, that big neighborhood, that's a Firewise. And it works well because everybody's committed up there and that's a good, safe area.
Yeah,
Here, that's the thing, you go up here across from the schoolhouse and then there's, that thing had blazed pretty good.
yeah, it was.
So it's,
So, mats. Would the grant cover the ashes? Do you recall?
If I had to guess, I'd say no.
Okay, we'll just look
To
at-
haul them away, you mean?
Yeah,
That, it would be a question for,
okay.
Michelle, what's her name, Michelle? Yeah.
I'm gonna make a note here, and we'll.
Because it would be
look
under
at-
maintenance.
Yeah, now, I don't wanna spend a lot of money there, but, you know, it is somewhere to put some money in.
I'll
Because,
look at it closer, I'll look at it closer.
you know, right now, it's okay, but 3 years from now, that thing could be,
Humongous.
yeah.
Okay, we'll look at that. You have,
Firewise part, I've talked with them, and, you know, there's money for fencing, we've talked about fencing it.
The thing is though, Kurt, with what we have here, I'm really afraid of putting a fence around it due to the fact that everybody's just gonna dump in front of the gate.
Sure,
yeah,
yes, no, that's true.
You know, I mean, that's just,
On the weekends.
that's what happens. It's closed because we got the burn pile shut off and then you turn.
Yeah,
around and get all
The signs and ropes and stuff have never stopped
no,
anything.
They've always dumped in front of them, as I recall,
Yeah.
when we tried that.
The only thing that we would do is when we do shut it off in the summer, you know, because a lot of times in the winter months or when the fire's going, you know, it'd almost be out. And then people bring loads in and then it's going again. It would just be a way to the main burn pile that I guess the city would be responsible for is gated and locked and if the stuff in front of the gate started, you know, that'd be intentionally somebody lighting it on fire.
Yeah, because about the only thing that the fence and gate would do is separate the two.
Separate the two, that's all it would do.
we need to.
Well, you know, if you did become Firewise, and let's say it does open us up to camera grants for watching the hills and such, maybe we could point a camera sort of at the burn pile and you get license plate numbers and you.
We got camera.
Yeah, we got a camera that we're gonna put down there. when the
Yeah, we
truck
already
is.
talked about the.
Okay, good.
Put a sign, you were unattended.
And you send them a letter and you say, next time this happens from you, we're gonna call the sheriff. I don't know, something like that.
Fee schedule.
Okay, anybody else?
Just a
John?
quick note, I finished the state fire marshal report. This last weekend, we answered 40 calls last year, 32 which were medicals, 7 which were fires, and all were, thank goodness, little things, and 1 mutual aid fire from Hyra. We have kind of a busy
You're
year,
a busy year.
yeah, and it'll stay that way, I think.
You have those stats written down somewhere?
Yeah,
Can you just leave a copy in the office?
okay, well.
Yeah.
40, I can give them orally like I just did, so
Okay, yeah, give it to Wendy, but
I think I got notes.
I'll
from
never
training.
find it here. Okay, anything else? Okay, I entertain a
I
motion.
make the motion, we adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, everyone.
Sometimes you have, that's what the number I get, but when you don't have.